recording. All right. Whenever you're ready.
All right, cool. Are you ready, kids?
No, we're not doing that.
I can't hear you. Oh, who lives in New England and plays fighting games? It's George Bush. His name is Austin and my name is James. It's Charge Motion.
I didn't sign off on this.
It's relevant. It's relevant. I did that for a reason.
It is. It technically is.
Welcome back to Charge Motion. My name is Saximus.
My name is Ghoul.
Cool. What have you been playing this week?
I have been playing a whole lot of Guilty Gear.
So have I.
Lots of Guilty Gear. Like, so much Guilty Gear. Game is good. If you were on the fence about it, don't be. But that's not what we're going to talk about, because...
So I have an announcement to make. I have some news to share. It is news that may or may not shake you to your core and make you re-examine your role in this world. Are you ready? SpongeBob SquarePants can Wavedash. Take a minute. Just be in your own thoughts and come to terms with what I have just told you.
Because it is, in fact, true.
It is true. So, earlier this week, IGN announced Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, which is a platform fighter with a whole bunch of Nickelodeon characters. And as the resident platform fighter player here on Charge Motion, normally I wouldn't care. Like, oh, this big, gigantic media corporation that owns a bunch of iconic characters making a crossover fighting game. That's never been done before, not by Cartoon Network, or Sony, or Shonen Jump many times.
Or Nintendo.
They're rarely, if at all, good. And I would see this thing to myself, you know what? I hope the kids who are playing this have a good time playing it. And then I would never think about it again, because I'm not a very nostalgic person. Even if I was, I'm poor. And even if I'm not, I'm 30. And I don't have kids. But... I am legitimately, and it looks like most of the FGC is also legitimately excited for Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. Fall 2021. It is being published by Game Mill Entertainment and co-developed by Fair Play Labs, and Ludosity. And if you're as into platform fighters as I am, the name Ludosity should ring a bell. It is the same studio that made Slap City. And Slap City is great, and they're making this game too.
I'm not a platform fighter guy, so I've never played Slap City.
It is very good. It's a crossover fighter, but it's all games developed by Ludosity, because they're this indie studio. Although I guess now they're, not as indie anymore.
Yeah, not as indie anymore.
Slap City is very good. You can make the argument that Slap City is to Project M what Rivals of Aether was to Melee. In terms of gameplay and stuff like that.
I could get into that because I liked Project M.
Yeah. But it is very good. And that's the first reason why I'm really looking forward to this. And the second reason is because the devs have confirmed on Discord. What?
We're fine.
All right. The devs have confirmed on Discord that this game will have rollback netcode.
It will. Oh yeah, the table shakes. But that's fine. Yeah. Whatever. This game will have rollback netcode, which, if it has rollback, I can buy it. Because no rollback, no buy.
Yeah, seriously. PS4, PS5, all of the Xboxes, I'm not going to name them.
Xbox in general.
Yeah, Switch and PC in fall 2021.
So that's great, too, because, it's a platform fighter that you can get on every platform.
Seriously.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
I don't know if there will be crossplay. I don't know if they've said much about that.
Probably not. I think the reason is because they've said that rollback, more specifically, will be available on all capable platforms. On all supported platforms, more specifically.
That's interesting.
Which probably means not on Switch.
Right.
So it'd be kind of hard to have crossplay. And also, Sony in particular is infamous for being very picky about
crossplay.
Yeah.
Which actually we can talk more about that later.
Mm-hmm.
But I, for one, am very excited about this. Mm-hmm. Like you said, if they didn't come out the gate saying that it had rollback netcode, I wouldn't have even given this game a second thought.
Yeah.
I would have been like, oh, neat, a Nickelodeon, platform fighter. Whatever. I'm not really interested. But the fact that, first of all, that all of my favorite Nickelodeon characters can now Wavedash. And the meme implications alone.
God. Yeah. I
don't have to tell you guys about the memes. All right, you've seen them. I know that you've seen. If you're watching this show, you've seen the memes.
You probably follow us on Twitter. You've seen the memes.
Yeah.
But like the 24-hour block of time after this game was announced was not only some of the best period of FGC memery and shitposting I've ever seen. Just both the volume of memes and the quality
of memes.
But like the 24-hour block of time after the announcement was like legitimately, I'm not being ironic here, the happiest, like the most cheerful and the most hyped I've seen the FGC in years.
Think Pokemon Go Summer, but
seriously,
just in the FGC.
Seriously,
like, that's what it felt like. Like everyone was so stoked for this. And everyone still is. I mean, obviously the new announcement hype kind of dies off, but everyone that I know at least is still excited.
Yeah, me too.
So the question that everybody wants to know is, who you maining?
That's a good question. So that's a great segue into the roster. So full roster's not announced yet because the developer, Ludosity, said that they're keeping a lid on new characters. But the current roster is from SpongeBob, Sandy, and Patrick. From Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Michelangelo and Leonardo.
I'd be hard-pressed to believe that the other two won't be in at some point.
Yeah, seriously. From The Loud House, a show that I know literally nothing about because, again, 30. Lucy Loud and Lincoln Loud.
I've seen, like, an episode of The Loud House because my little cousin was watching it, and it's fair, for a new children's show.
Yeah, it's a Nickelodeon show.
Yeah.
Nigel Thornberry from the Wild Thornberry. Powdered Toast Man for Ren and Snippy. That is a deep cut.
Yeah, it is. Oh my god.
Yeah, seriously. Oblina from Our Real Monsters, Helga from Hey Arnold, Reptar from Rugrats, Zim from Invader Zim, and Danny Phantom from Danny Phantom. Featuring Danny Phantom for the Danny Phantom series.
Yes.
Which is a really great spread, like, generation-wise.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you have really older stuff, like, Wild Thornberries and Ren and Stimpy, with newer stuff like The Loud House, with all the, timeless stuff that everybody knows, which I think is really good and a smart decision.
So, out of that list, because, I mean, obviously there's still some characters that I'm waiting for.
Yeah.
Preemptively, I'm a Danny Phantom main. That's because Danny Phantom is my favorite series out of that list that's on there. Leonardo is probably a very close second. And then,
you like your turtles?
Yeah, because I do like my turtles who happen to be teenage ninjas and mutants. Zim is going to be on my roster as well. There
are also characters. They showed like a mock-up of the box art with all the characters in silhouette, and there are some silhouettes of characters that have not been announced yet, which are Ren and Stimpy, Cat Dog, and Korra. And right below Korra, there's this extended hand, but it's like a human hand.
Probably Aang.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. If there are any The Last Airbender characters, which I can only assume there's going to be, they're probably going to take precedence over that list that I just wrote out.
Yeah. And also, like, the Western Air Temple is one of the stages that they showed off, so...
Oh, well, yeah. I didn't even catch that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's definitely going to be Atla characters, and probably Legend of Korra as well.
Yeah. I mean, I will probably go straight to any Avatar characters that I see first. I'm definitely interested in Danny Phantom and Reptar.
Reptar looks cool.
Because I played Charizard in Smash 4, so...
Right.
If he plays anything like Charizard, I'll be happy.
Yeah. There's a bunch of characters that I'm like really excited to see because like the range of, like you said, the generational range that's on this list of characters has me really hopeful. For some characters that like I didn't ever think would see the light of day again.
Yeah.
Like Jenny from My Life as a Teenage Robot.
They have to put her in. Please put her in.
Please put her in. They have to.
Yeah.
Who else was I thinking about?
I just want one rep from Kablam.
From Kablam.
Oh my god, I haven't seen Kablam in years, but oh god, it was so good.
Oh man, there were some other Nickelodeon shows that I would love to see them. Dexter's Laboratory. No, Dexter's Laboratory. That's Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, like Jenny from My Life as a Teenage Robot is up there on my list of wish list characters.
I have two very cursed pieces of information to share with you that I just remembered. Number one, apparently Nickelodeon aired the Garfield cartoons.
Oh no.
So we might get Garfield.
Oh my god.
And the second piece of cursed information is that I think it was on Nickelodeon, maybe one of the side channels, where they aired the English dub of Dragon Ball Z Kai. So it's
that one I knew.
And it's a stretch, but there is a non-zero chance of
Goku being not in Super Smash Brothers, mind you,
but fighting SpongeBob and Invader Zim in Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl coming fall 2021 for all modern platforms.
Oh my god. Yeah, there is a non-zero chance of Goku being in this game.
It's not going to happen.
No, it's not.
Because between Nickelodeon and Funimation and Shueisha, and it's just...
Yeah, it's not.
No.
It's not going to happen. But it's fun to dream.
It's fun to dream. Oh my god. And the developers were answering questions on Discord, sorry. And then people were sharing screenshots. By the way, I'm not trying to crap on Ludosity here, but just devs in general, Discord's the worst place to share information. Everybody, don't post, if you're going to post important information, don't post it only on Discord, please.
Yeah. Discord is great for communicating in real time with people.
It's modern day chat rooms.
Yeah, it's modern day chat rooms. It's not great for sharing important information that you want a lot of people to see.
Yes. But they were answering a lot of questions on the Discord. They were very active. Does have wave dashing. There's even a clip from the trailer if you're watching carefully. Where Patrick does jump onto platform, waveland backwards, platform drop back air.
Yeah. So
like, I think they said it's not going to be literally just Slap City with Nickelodeon characters, but that they're taking like the lessons that they learned and features that they came up with that didn't make it into Slap City. They're taking all of that and applying it to Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl.
Yeah, that's awesome, especially because like obviously they're experienced in making platform fighters. And it's not just some random Nickelodeon studio being thrown onto this project.
Yeah, seriously. It's less tech heavy compared to Slap, but plays generally faster. So
fair enough.
Yeah. What were you going to say? I interrupted you. Sorry.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Wave dashing.
Oh yeah, people like wave dashing.
Yeah, people like wave dashing.
I like wave dashing.
Yeah.
Especially when it's made easy and deliberate, like in Rivals.
Or Slap City.
Yeah. Like I said, I haven't played Slap City. But
it is very fun. I think I did. I played Princess Remedy. It's a fun game. All right. So yes, it's not going to be as crazy as Slap. You know, you can DI, you can wave dash, you can do all the platform fighter stuff. They're going to put button remapping on the character select, which Smash has never done.
Oh my god, that's so nice.
Yeah. It's going to be a big boy fighting game. It's also going to have like 1v1 private/competitive lobbies.
Oh man. So they're really going hard. Like they're like, people are going to play this game competitively because nerds will always find a way to make something competitive.
Let's make it easy for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think they kind of said that Nickelodeon's fine with whatever as long as the game is fun.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you do, right? If you're Nickelodeon, you hire an experienced studio to make this game with your IPs, and you just let them do it, right? Like, represent our characters well, and make a good video game. Like, you don't have to sit there and micromanage them along the way, because that's how you get bad games.
Yes. Yeah. Crunch is bad. Game devs, please unionize.
Please do so.
They said I saw now that there is not going to be L canceling, which I'm happy about because I do not like L canceling.
Okay. Although I could take it or leave it.
Yeah. Although interesting list, Slap City is the only platform fighter game I've seen where they actually made L canceling kind of good and actually worth using. So
Well, I mean, it's imperative to use in Melee.
Yeah. But yeah, like if this is a studio that can make me not hate L canceling, they're going to do a perfectly good job with this game.
Yeah, they're going to do a good job. Like I have no doubts that the game is going to be fun at the very base level. Like, even if it's just for the sake of, hey, SpongeBob is fighting Danny Phantom, then that's great. Like, that's enough for me.
Yeah. And I heard a lot of people saying, like, oh my god, I can't believe this is going to kill. This is a Smash killer. It's going to game that's going to dethrone Smash. And I was thinking to myself, thank you, Windows, for helping me clean up space. I was thinking to myself, I balked at that initially, like, yeah, because Smash is monolithic, right?
Yeah.
But the more I thought about it, the more I realized that it might actually happen.
You think so?
I mean, not so much in the video game world, but in media in general, Nickelodeon is monolithic in its own right. And if the game's good, and if it's on every single platform,
Fair enough.
maybe. I'm regardless of what happens, I'm very much looking forward to Evo 2022, and being in the Mandalay Bay and singing along to My Shiny Teeth and Me with everybody in the crowd during Grand Finals.
Oh yeah, we don't have any Fairly Odd Parents reps yet.
Not yet. I'd be amazed if we didn't get one.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining.
I want to main Jorgen von Strangle.
Yeah.
I need that. Probably not main him, but if he's in the game, I want him in the game so I can play him and give him a flash kick.
I played Chip Skylark on the condition that he has a counter that makes his teeth invincibility frames.
Yes.
Yeah.
His shiny teeth.
Yeah, and him. I'm just imagining next year when locals are in full swing and I sit down to a setup, be like, I banned Jellyfish Fields and the Dimsdale Dimmadome.
It's like, all right, let's default to Western Air
Let's
Temple.
default to Western Air Temple. Oh my god.
Oh man, it's gonna be a fun ride.
Yeah. Okay. But we could talk about this. We talked about Guilty Gear Strive a little earlier, and shout out to Guilty Gear Strive because they announced that in the month the game is released, they have shipped 500,000 units.
500,000 units.
That is absurd.
And 100,000 of them were from me. No, I bought two.
Yeah.
I bought a PC copy and a PS4 copy.
Mm.
But the game is just really good. It's not without its criticisms. I mean, people have been complaining about the balance since the beta.
Yeah, we can talk about it a little later.
Yeah, we can talk about the balance
with that one character.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. The game just feels fun to play, and the netcode is good. You have a couple matches where you can definitely feel like it's laggy, but like,
yeah.
It's definitely so much better than any experience leading up to it.
Seriously.
Apart from like the rollback games, like Skullgirls and Killer Instinct and
yeah. But next week, as of this recording, so we're on the East Coast, so it would be at 3 a.m. on July 21st. Set an alarm. They're going to announce the first DLC character. On the
I am
YouTube
excited.
channel. Yes. I think I heard, I don't know if this is true or not, I think they said the first DLC character is going to be new, second DLC character is going to be a returning character.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so I'm predicting Gold Lewis.
Yeah.
I'd be very okay with that.
Gold Lewis is a good pick. I actually haven't consumed the Strive story mode at all.
I've seen bits and pieces of it. But...
So I don't know of any characters besides Gold Lewis that might have been introduced in the story mode that aren't playable.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing. I actually didn't know that the first character is going to be new. So that I was going to talk about who I think it might be, but now I don't even know because it's going to be a new character.
Yeah. Maybe it's going to be Arya, and she's just going to be not Jacko.
Not Jacko.
Yeah. I played Jacko in XR, and I'd be okay with that. But yes. 6 p.m. PST? What?
6 p.m. PST.
Oh, I may have read this wrong. What is CEST? That's probably not Central Eastern Standard Time. Like
Central Eastern Standard.
Like my brain defaulted to what it was. No, Pacific Standard CEST. Central European Summertime. You know what? That makes sense.
Okay.
Please ignore me. Except long enough for me to tell you. All right. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. on the 20th.
So for us, that's 3 p.m.
9 p.m.
No, oh, right, yeah. Other way.
Yeah, other way. It's later here.
None of us can do time zones. Other way. 9 p.m.
9 p.m. Eastern on the
20th.
20th, which is, as of this recording, 4 days from now. Cool.
Either way, it's exciting. We're so excited we can't do math.
Yes. More updates with Rivals of Ether. I am eating incredibly well today, and if my computer could work, that would be even cooler. Anyway, yes. So Rivals of Ether posted a brief little update on the 4 workshop characters that are coming out, which I'm extremely excited for. And they either confirmed or restated information we already knew. Like, they're not just being plucked out of the Steam workshop and dropped into Rivals as is. New sprite work, new animations. A lot of them, I think all 4 of them are getting some parts of their kit reworked. They're going very far out of their way to make sure they fit into the base game, both in terms of gameplay and in terms of lore.
That's good.
Yeah. And speaking of lore, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Issue 3 of Tales of Aether is out. If you've been watching regularly, maybe think to yourself, wait, I don't remember them ever talking about issue 2. That's because I forgot. Issue 3 is out in Clarence Story. One more issue in this volume. It is good. It is $3 per issue. Please buy it. And the reason I brought this up is because issue 3 has Molo, which is the fan character for the fire element that's getting added to the base game, and also the one I'm looking most forward to. And I think it's really cool that they're taking the creations by fans who loved the series so much to make their own characters and adding those characters
in. Yeah. That's always so cool when the community gets to contribute to the game.
Yeah.
And then, that stuff actually gets implemented into the game. I'm looking at you, Epic Games, with Unreal Tournament 4. I'm not going to get into that right now, but if you know, you know.
I'm just going to smile and nod. I've never played Unreal Tournament.
There's no reason to now, but...
Oh.
But anyway.
That's not the ending I was expecting.
But anyway, it's so good when the community gets to contribute to the game, and, the devs take that and, create it as content in the actual game so fans can feel like they, helped make the game that they love.
Yeah, and Rivals is going even further by, working with the creators.
Right, yeah.
And I think the creator of Molo actually got hired by the developers to work on the game.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, we don't have a strict release date, but it's going to be a free update for...
Free update. Gotta love the word free.
Yeah. For both Steam and Switch.
Cool.
I feel extra bad for the Xbox players.
Oh,
however many are left, because I think the reason that one hasn't been updated in so long is I think just the verification process is a lot weirder and more difficult. So.
I can imagine. There's no Sony release, right?
Nope.
Yeah, so I know that Sony is usually even worse than Microsoft about that kind of thing. So yeah, but Microsoft is probably being a pain to the devs for their updates and such.
Yeah. But moving on to new content that did make it to Sony. I know we said before that Annie is legit in Skullgirls, but now she's even more legit. She is out on PS4, and her story mode is out on both PS4 and Steam. It's not voiced yet. It is very good. Please
play Skullgirls.
Please play Skullgirls.
It's especially now that Annie is out, because Annie's a super cool character.
Yeah, she really is.
And I've said this before about Annie. My experience with Skullgirls. First of all, I don't play a lot of versus style games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big fan of 3v3 tag style fighters.
And for me, Skullgirls, actually that's not true, Dragon Ball FighterZ. Those are the only two I play.
Right. So Skullgirls for me was a difficult experience because all of the characters feel so unique. And that's a good thing that the characters are unique. So this isn't a criticism of the game.
Yes.
It was just difficult for me because none of the characters felt familiar coming from other fighting games. It was hard for me to pick up a character and be like, oh, I know what they do.
Yeah.
But Annie does that. Annie is a Shoto.
Yeah. She's Sol Badguy.
Yeah. So, she has the fireball, she has the Shoryuken, she has the advancing...
Yeah, North Knuckle.
Yeah, she has the advancing attack, which would be considered a Tatsu, even though it's not a kick move in her case. But she has all of the things that feel familiar to me as a traditional fighting game player.
Beam Super, DP Super,
Install Super.
Yeah.
So that was that's why it was so awesome for me to be playing her, because I could pick her up and do stuff, and I'm like, okay, this is stuff that I'm familiar with. Because the other Skullgirls characters required a lot of extra, familiarizing with the characters and with the games, which, like I said, is a good thing. This isn't a criticism of the game at all.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that Annie is around and feels more familiar to somebody like me who isn't, a Skullgirls player.
Yeah, but what we're talking about, that's one of the things I really like about both Skullgirls and Rebels of Ether, which are coincidentally my two favorite fighting games. Like having a smaller roster allows you to really diversify it and have characters that are very distinct from one another.
That is awesome.
And if you do it well and give each character a lot of tools, you can create diversity within diversity within the single character.
Oh yeah.
Styles.
Skullgirls is definitely one of those games where, two Robo Fortune players do not play the same.
Even if they're both solo Robo Fortunes and don't play twos or threes.
It's like and the diversity also gets exemplified from, team building and like the custom assists, and Skullgirls is great. Play Skullgirls.
Yeah. But yeah, that is one of the benefits of, having a small, concise roster. But one of the failings is, like you said, you increase the odds of people not being able to find a character that clicks.
And you know what? I think that's one of the other things that Guilty Gear Strive did really well.
Yeah.
Looking at it, and especially if you're coming from Xrd, and like especially coming from like Xrd Rev 2 specifically, that has all the characters. Or even if you're coming off of the hype of like Plus R, because Plus R has a pretty big roster too.
Yeah.
The Strive roster feels really tiny. But I think it's just the right size to...
I do too, yeah.
Like, because we're all learning a new game, right? And learning a new game is more difficult when there's 60 characters in the roster. So I think that the Strive roster right now is in a good state to where there's enough content for your money. There's enough characters for people... There's enough characters so that someone will find something that they like. But there's few enough to where each character is really diverse, and there aren't a crazy amount of matchups to learn.
Yeah. And I think they said that they're also adding crossplay, potentially looking into it.
Yeah, I read somewhere that ArcSys is in the process of getting crossplay approved between PlayStation and PC.
Which is huge.
Because that's one of the things that Street Fighter V did right. The fact that I can just hop on my PC setup and play with my PC friends and my PS4 friends at the same time is awesome. It's great. And every fighting game should do it in the future. Or implement it now, if you haven't already.
If possible, because like we said,
Sony
in particular can be very difficult.
Right.
But... Yeah, this has got to be something that's going to take a lot of money and a lot of effort, and it's something that they probably wouldn't go through if they didn't think it was worth it.
Right.
And the game sold 500,000 copies in a month.
In a month.
It's huge.
That is huge, especially for a fighting game. But yeah, like the game is good. It's doing well. I'm really excited to see how the new DLC character plays out. And I'm really excited to see crossplay come and lobby improvements.
Yeah. Sucks for everyone who bought it twice, like you.
Right. Well, it doesn't even suck, right? Because I play it on PC at home because that's the platform that I prefer.
Oh, right, yeah.
But I bought my PS4 copy first because I wanted to have it to bring to locals.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I still, even if it gets crossplay, I still don't regret having a PS4 setup.
Yeah.
But that's just me personally. Not everybody, brings a setup to locals, which is fine.
Yeah. But if you are able to, it is good.
Right, it is great.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. And speaking of Skullgirls, I'm eating very well this week. All of my dreams are coming true.
All of them.
All of them. Literally all of them. I am no longer poor. My dream has come true. No, but like, I can as a Skullgirls fan since like 2013, I can finally say with confidence and joy and pride that we are a main game at EVO. And it's one online, which is good because I can play it, but it's during a weekend when I have to be at a wedding.
But I told you not to go.
You did.
I told you to just skip the wedding and just play Skullgirls at EVO.
No, I'll just bring my laptop with me. Like during the ceremony,
there
I'll
you
just
go.
Open my laptop, take my hitbox, turn on mobile hotspot. Sorry, I got my round one. Keep doing what you're doing. Ignore me. Just during the wedding video, you're clicking off in the corner from my hitbox. That'll go over well.
Yeah, it would.
But yes, Skullgirls is a main game, like a title game at EVO, along with Guilty Gear Strive, Tekken 7, Street Fighter 5, and MK11.
That's exciting.
That's very exciting.
That's so great for Skullgirls players.
Yeah, it's on PC too, which is even better because that's where most of the community is.
Yeah.
But PS4 is still a community-run bracket, which is so cool. I was going to say register, but by the time we're recording, registration was already closed.
Yeah, registration is already closed at the time that we're recording this. So if you missed it, sorry, but it's going to be cool to watch.
Yeah.
Especially because Skullgirls has really good netcode.
It does, and it got up before all the cool kids did too.
Yeah.
But yes, August 6th to 8th and August 13th to 15th for all 5 of those games.
Yeah. I don't have an excuse to not be signed up for EVO. I just forgot. I do not have a wedding to be at.
Yeah.
I just am bad at managing my time. But yeah, it's going to be awesome to see all these cool fighting games getting played at the highest levels, especially now that we have a good amount of... I mean, I say we have a good amount of games with good netcode, but 3 of the 5 main stage games have well-implemented rollback netcode.
Oh, yeah.
4 of the 5 main stage games... Well, actually, technically, all 5 of the main stage games have rollback netcode. It was added to Tekken.
Yeah, like for Tekken, it's rollback.
It's rollback.
And for Street Fighter 5, it's rollback.
Yeah. So that's why I made the distinction. 3 out of the 5 main stage games have well-implemented rollback netcode.
Yeah. There's still a community series which has been going on. It's actually going to end in a couple weeks. For Grand Blue Fantasy versus Under Night, then Fighting Herd Skull Calibur 6, Skullgirls on PS4. That Gundam game, I'm not even going to try to say it right now.
MBON, I think is the acronym for it.
Dragon Ball Fighters and Blaze Blue Cross Tag.
Yeah, so those are community-run events. They're not main stage stuff, but those are going on.
They've been going on. They're still going to go on.
Check those out if you're fans of those games.
Yeah. And this has been a very beefy week.
It has.
So, I know last time we talked about a argument that the FGC apparently can't stop having. It happens every few years. Time is a flat circle. We're all in hell. I beg for forgiveness, but these chains only get tighter. But this past week was a completely different one of those. A nice change of pace. About how PC should be the standard for offline tournaments. And I was going to go on this gigantic rant about stop bringing it up. And I was going to list all the reasons why that me and everyone who's ever run a tournament ever would tell you and has told you. But then Steam had to go and announce the Switch Pro.
Valve announced the Switch Pro.
Valve, sorry.
Yeah, so we're talking about the Steam Deck here. And if you haven't heard about it, yes, you have. If you really, truly haven't heard about it, it is a portable PC. And that's the easiest way to put it. And that's what Valve has said that it is. It's literally a Nintendo Switch, but instead of a Nintendo console between these controllers, it's a gaming PC.
And a reasonably beefy one, too.
Yeah, and it's designed to link to your Steam profile so that you can install and play any game that's on your Steam library onto this handheld PC. I almost called it a handheld console, but it's a handheld PC.
Yeah, seriously. And you can play it on the go, just like a Switch. You cannot detach the controllers, it looks like. But because it's a PC, you can bring a Bluetooth one.
Yeah, you can. It has Bluetooth support. It has Wi-Fi, naturally.
Yeah.
But the really cool thing is that it also has a dock, just like the Switch. And it can output HDMI in 4K.
Yeah.
Which might not be necessary for fighting games, but it can do that.
It has a LAN port.
It does have a LAN port built into it, so you don't have to buy an extra one. You don't have to buy like an external one like what Nintendo made you do.
3 USB-A ports.
3 USB ports.
A USB-C port, which I'm assuming is for connecting to power. I'm trying to find... Here it is. That thing, I don't know what that thing is.
Oh, that's a display port.
Oh,
to go into a monitor.
And here's HDMI.
HDMI, yep.
And
USB-C, audio.
Audio, yeah. And one of the promotional images is the Steam Deck in a dock running Guilty Gear Strive, and player 1 is playing on a hitbox and players 2 playing on a fight stick.
Yeah, so they deliberately went out of their way to be like, hey, this thing can run fighting games.
Seriously. And one of the biggest arguments against PC tournaments is that a decent not even like exceptional or good, but like decent PC, you're dropping at least a stack, quadruple digits. Like,
yeah.
Like this laptop sucks, and it cost me like $1,200.
Yeah. Well, your laptop's old.
And it didn't suck at the time. Sucks now. But the base model of this thing is going to be $400.
Yep, and that comes with 64 gigabytes of storage, which is admittedly small.
Admittedly small, but if you're just throwing a handful of fighting games on there, if they're like Skullgirls or Rivals and they don't take up.
I was about to say that doesn't even fit one Tekken.
Yeah,
Tekken is like 70 something gigs. But I mean, if you want to shell out for the more expensive models, which I don't know the prices off the top of my head. I think the level 2 is what I'm going to call it. It's not what it's actually called.
I'm trying to find it on their website. This was easier to navigate on mobile.
But
here it is.
There we go. There's a 256 gigabyte, which is better.
Very beefy.
For $529. But that one also uses an NVMe solid state, which if you know what that is, then you know. If you don't, it's essentially just a really strong, really fast hard drive.
Yeah.
That's going to give you quicker load times and more efficient use of your storage space. Then the ultimate version, it costs $650, and it has 512 gigabytes of NVMe solid state internal storage.
Yeah.
It also comes with anti-glare etched glass.
That's fancy.
That is fancy.
Yeah. And an exclusive carrying case as opposed to the regular carrying cases that the first two models come with. But yeah, if your game is smaller than Tekken 7, or if you run like a lot of games that don't take up a lot of space, the $400 for 64 gigs seems perfectly reasonable.
And so,
sorry, go ahead.
I don't want to. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say it.
Oh no.
We get the Steam Deck, which is a portable PC.
Yeah.
And there's a new Melty Blood game coming out.
Oh, I remember you talking about this.
we have a whole new generation of Melty Blood memes, and that's as far as I'm gonna go.
I'm imagining. Oh no! Oh no! I'm imagining someone sitting on the toilet, holding the Steam Deck, playing a Melty Blood set against someone in the stall.
Melty players, I'm so sorry.
We love you.
We love you.
The new Melty Blood looks really cool.
It does. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna play it.
Oh,
and I know you guys are. I know you guys are sick of this meme. I know that.
We really are sorry. We are genuinely happy that you're getting a new game. It looks really sick. It's just
just the implications.
It was laying there. It was laying on the laying on the ground, waiting for us to pick it up. I'm sorry.
It had to be done, but now we're gonna move past it.
All right. Steam Deck.
Steam Deck. It might. And now all of this that we're saying is speculative.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because we don't know how this thing is going to run.
It could suck. See, and I was going to get into an anecdote. Like, y'all remember Steam machines? Like little mini PCs built by Steam just for gaming? They kind of sucked.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they don't even make them anymore. And my only real experience with them was at Shine 2017, when every single Rivals of Aether setup was brought by the developers on a Steam machine.
Oh boy.
And I remember Dan having to stop what he was doing several times to plug in a keyboard and fix some issue. And the stream setup was running on a Steam machine, and I don't remember why, but they had to close down. I think I force stopped the game after every set and start it up again.
Oh,
I can't remember. I can't remember. They could. It might have been they just had to close it down. I don't remember if they had to force stop it.
That sounds like a controller thing.
I think it was a controller thing actually. Yeah.
PCs are infamously angry when you hot swap controllers.
Yeah.
The Steam Deck made it a point to talk about how that won't be an issue.
Yeah.
It should be like when it's in its dock at the very least. It should just be as easy as plugging in and playing, just like on a PlayStation.
Yeah.
But that and the performance of it all remains to be seen, because we might get this thing in our hands and try to play a fighting game, and it adds like 30 frames of input lag.
Or it does crap out when you hot swap controllers.
So we might find out that this thing sucks. But if it doesn't, if by chance it does not suck, then it's a really, really interesting option for the future of offline fighting game tournaments.
Yeah.
This could change the PC as the standard discussion entirely.
Seriously. And silver lining is even if it sucks, it's still a tiny portable PC that you can run emulators on.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Emulation machine.
I am buying that thing so fast and using it as an emulator machine. Yeah. Because Steam did come out. Valve, I keep calling them Steam. That's not the company.
Yeah, I did the same. Yeah.
Valve came out and said that while the default experience for the Steam Deck does operate through a Steam account and on the Steam store, they said that it is literally just a PC.
And you can just kind of do whatever you want with it.
And so you can install anything you want. You can install any software you want. You can install new operating systems on it. It literally is just a PC. And I think it has like 2 trackpads.
It does
on it, so like you can use it as a PC because that's what it is. From my understanding, you could install a browser on it.
Yeah, probably.
You could install, an emulator.
It's running Linux, so theoretically anything that Linux can run, the Steam Deck can run. But yeah, it could be something like the Steam controller, which tried to run before it could walk and flew too close to the sun. I really like the Steam controller, and I was lucky enough to get one before they stopped making them. I still use it sometimes.
I didn't know they stopped making the Steam controller.
Pretty sure they did because it just didn't sell well enough. I could be wrong. I don't know. If I'm wrong, tell me in the comments. If I'm right, tell me in the comments. But yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it.
Yep, I'm cautiously optimistic about what it does for fighting games. I'm really excited for what it's going to do for me as a gamer. That's how I feel about the Steam Deck right now.
And I don't know. We don't have. This was a very busy week. We kind of blasted right through it. Let's go back to Guilty Gear Strive because I know you wanted to talk about.
Oh yes, that character syndrome.
The gear in the room.
So
the installed dragon in the room.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna come out and say it.
Actually, he doesn't have dragon installed anymore. What am I saying? Continue. I'm sorry.
He technically uses it in Heavy Mob Cemetery, but he doesn't stay in dragon install form. And if you play English Soul, he does actually yell dragon install when he uses that move.
Yeah.
But so I'm gonna rant a little bit.
Please go ahead.
And I'm going to preface that rant by coming right out and letting you guys know I am a Soul player.
I already knew that.
Yeah, you did already know that. I play Soul. Why do I play Soul? Because he's good. And because I think he's cool. And
that's all you need, really.
I've always thought he was cool. I played him in Plus R, which I don't know anything about that game. I don't know if he's good in that game. I think he might be. Sajam plays him. I don't know. I played him in that game because Order Soul was too complicated for me. Because I think Order Soul is way cooler. But anyway, I think Sol Badguy is a cool character. And he's also the character that makes the most sense to me. Like, he's plays like a Shoto.
Yeah.
So, well, an anime Shoto. He just clicked with me the best out of any of the other characters in the roster. So I play Soul. I'll probably still play Soul when he ends up getting nerfed. But I just wanted to get that out of the way. Yes, I am a Soul player. And what I'm about to say is not downplaying. What I want to say is every game has that character.
Yes.
Every game. Doesn't matter what game it is. What character is it in Skullgirls? Or is there a team in Skullgirls?
I'm pretty sure the one team that is most likely to set someone off just as character select is Bella Bayo Band.
Bella Bayo Band.
Sarah Bella Beowulf and Big Band. I think that's the team.
That's the team. Okay. In Dragon Ball FighterZ, that character for a long time was Bardock first.
Bardock, yeah.
Then it was GT Goku.
Then it was Ultra Instinct Goku.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's still Ultra Instinct Goku.
He got nerfed and he's still really good.
And then, Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta.
Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Yeah. And, in Street Fighter, that character was Guile, and then it was Akuma, and
Abigail.
then it was Abigail, and then it was Guile again.
Now it's Cammy.
Yeah, now it's Cammy. Cammy's that character, right?
Yeah. In Rivals of Ether, I'm pretty sure it's Ori. Ori is that character in Rivals.
So every game has that character that everyone agrees is busted, or way too strong, or...
Bayonetta.
I don't know, who is it in Ultimate? I don't know anything about Ultimate.
I would say Pikachu in Ultimate.
Pikachu, okay. There is a lot of discourse around Sol Badguy right now.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I know that Sol is a strong character. I'm not going to sit here and downplay Sol. I'm just going to say that get over it. Sol is a strong character, yes. But what people have to understand is that the game is the game is the game the way it is in front of you. Mm-hmm. And you either have to deal with what is strong and people who use it, or don't play. Sure, it's okay to complain and, vent and point out real legitimate flaws. Mm-hmm. But the reality of the situation is, if you think that the only way to win is to play this character, then you should play that character.
Yeah, seriously.
If winning is so important to you.
As a wise man once said, pick a top tier.
Pick a top tier. I watch that video every day. Just to lessen my guilt of being a Sol main. I'm not even kidding, I do. I guess what I really want to say is that every game has that character that people agree is overpowered, and they want that character to be nerfed. Mm-hmm. My response to that is be patient.
Yeah.
Because the game is the way that it is right now. And more likely than not, Sol is going to end up getting nerfed.
Yeah.
I don't want to say learn the matchup, because that's such a meme answer.
It is, but is it a wrong answer?
No, it's a totally correct answer, because while the game is in its current state, if you want to play it, and if you want to win, you have to put in the work to learn how to deal with that character, no matter how broken you think they are.
Yeah.
People still play the JoJo fighting game, even though one touch leads into infinites that either time you out or kill you.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, no, that's Fist of the North Star.
Oh, yeah, Fist of the North Star. The basketball combos.
Easy mistake to make.
Yeah.
As a JoJo fan.
But yeah, the Fist of the North Star fighter. Like, people still play those games. Why? And people still play Marvel 3.
Yeah.
And that game has a ton of unwinnable matchups.
People still play Marvel 2, and it's even worse there.
Yeah, so, there are ways around everything.
Yeah. There's
always, especially in a modern game, that is more well-balanced than any of the old fighting games that people still play.
No.
You can pick Mei and win just as much as if you pick Sol.
Just throw dolphins.
Mei is really good. There's a lot of good characters in Guilty Gear Strive. Mm-hmm. I don't think that there are really any bad characters in the game. I know Faust needs a little bit of help from what I've heard.
Kai needs help too.
Kai kind of needs help too. But even Kai, right? I've run into Kai players. I'm on, floor 9, by the way. Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm a Sol player, and I haven't gotten to Celestial, okay? I'm bad at the game, I understand. But I'm in, floor 9, and I'm fighting Kai players who are kicking my ass.
Yeah.
And I'm a Sol player. So, if you're good at the game, you can beat people who are using strong characters.
And I understand, I absolutely understand, wanting to stay loyal to a character even that character is low tier. I know it's exhausting to fight the same character with the same moveset every single game. But if you're a Spike player, we talked about character archetypes before, if you're a Spike player, if winning is your primary goal, and you are not playing a top tier character, why?
What are you doing?
Everyone loves a low tier hero, but if you're trying to win, pick the character that you are most likely to win with.
Yeah. And for me, it's a balance thing for me. Mm-hmm. Because I won't pick a top tier just because they're a top tier.
Yeah, same with me.
I have to pick... If I pick a top tier, it's because I like that character. Mm-hmm. I like Sol Badguy. Like I said it when I started this rant. I think Sol is a cool character. If I didn't think he was a cool character that was fun to play, I wouldn't play him.
Yeah. And I'm a similar thing. I'm playing Ramlethal, who isn't a top tier, but she's up there. She's a high tier.
No, she's a top tier.
Yeah.
Ram is red. So I will not sit here and let Ramlethal players hide behind Sol players, okay? Ram is just as busted as Sol. Sol is just taking the spotlight right now.
Ram doesn't have a reversal a good reversal that isn't super, does she?
But she has the best reversal super.
That's true.
She also has the best wall pressure in the game. Well, every single combo is burst safe.
I get to hit you from over there. Why wouldn't I do that? Well, and that ties into our point.
Exactly.
I like playing Ramlethal, alright? I'm not gonna hide it. I do not have a foot fetish. I wait a minute, you play Ramlethal and you play Jury? No, I don't. Yes, we exist. But I can
You're the only one.
I can hit you from over there. I can throw my swords at you and they explode and then you bounce up and down and I can run up and just bop you. Like, if you want to win, pick a top tier character.
Right. If you don't care about winning, why are you complaining so much?
And I know we're going on rants justifying our picking top tier characters. You don't need to justify it. You're trying to win.
Right.
This is what you do.
And so that's actually the main point that I want to get into is justifying your picking a character, right?
Yeah.
Because the most harmful thing about the whole Sol Badguy discourse is people are getting flamed for picking this character.
Yeah, seriously, grow up.
Like, seriously, if you're going to shun an individual based on the character that they play in a fighting game, grow up. Like, come on. It's a game, right? Like, at the end of the day, it's a game.
You're doing it to have fun. Why are you trying to ruin everyone else's day?
And especially since Strive is an entry point for a lot of people into fighting games.
Yeah.
It's like there's so many new players picking up Guilty Gear Strive and look at Sol Badguy and think, wow, that's a cool looking dude.
Because he is a cool looking dude.
Because he's a cool looking dude.
And he's like the main character of the game.
Right. He's the protagonist,
he's
right?
The protagonist.
Lots of people like to play the protagonist of the series.
It's not their fault the character's good.
Right. And they pick it and they just start getting flamed online for being a Sol player, or worse, they go to locals and just get shunned.
Has that happened?
I mean, I'm sure it has. Based on the way that this discourse is going. Like, I don't have any prime examples. I'm just saying, like, hypothetically. So, like, you beat somebody at a local, and it's like, oh, well, it didn't count because you're using Sol. Like, that's the kind of stuff that we can't have, right? Like, we cannot have dogpiling and the ostracization of people who pick top tiers, right? You can't do it. Because we want more people in the community. We've said it before, fighting games are for everyone.
Yeah.
And that includes top tier mains.
There are probably people wanting to ban Sol from tournaments. Like, and there are circumstances where banning a character is a good thing to do for the metagame.
Yeah. We've talked about it before.
Like Pet Shop in the JoJo fighting game. Not the Fist of North Star one you're talking about. Like Pet Shop, Super Turbo Akuma. I would argue Meta Knight and Brawl, although I'm not a universally held opinion.
Yeah.
But Sol's not there, dude.
Sol is not at the point to where he's completely breaking the game. Like, no one... Like, the only way to beat Sol is to pick Sol.
Nor is Ram, for that matter.
Yeah, nor is Ram.
Yeah.
My thing is, like... With that, is like, we've talked about in previous episodes, like, things that we would consider bannable.
Yeah.
And nothing in Guilty Gear Strive has hit that mark yet.
Yeah.
You can win with just about any character in the game. Some characters do, admittedly, have to work harder.
Yeah, Faust has to work. Yeah. I think Angie has to work a bit, too.
Angie has to work. Zato is... what's the word I'm looking for? He's traditionally a difficult character to use.
Yeah. And also Nagoriyuki, who's, designed to be this big lumbering wall.
Right, yeah. And, I mean, I think Nago is up there. Like, if he's not a high tier, he's like a mid. He's like a high mid.
Actually, I don't disagree.
I think Nago's stronger than a lot of people give him credit for, but that's also because I watch a lot of Fame, and Fame is, like, the best Nago player.
Yeah.
But you can't treat people differently because of who they main in a fighting game.
Yeah.
You can't do that. I guess that's the point that I really wanted to make, is, like, complain about the character, I guess. Go on Twitter and make your rants or whatever. But at the end of the day, somebody who beat you with Sol Badguy still beat you.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, sure, maybe you lost to the character instead of losing to the player, but you can train against the character a lot easier than you can train against the player.
Yeah.
So that's on you to I guess, learn the matchup. Really, I mean, the matchup might be difficult to learn, But if that's so if winning is so important to you and your character you feel can't handle the soul matchup, pick up a pocket character or something. Like, learn a counter pick.
Yeah. Or, I don't know, pick up Soul.
Just pick up Soul.
If you want to win that bet, pick up Soul or Ram.
And do you know how I became a Soul main?
How'd you become a Soul main?
I was bouncing around between a lot of characters, and I couldn't really find my footing, which is normal for me. I have this problem in every fighting game. I always have a hard time picking my main. So I was playing Axel, and I was having a lot of trouble winning.
You weren't thinking out of the box.
So
I like his theme, okay? Sorry, continue.
I was having a lot of trouble winning because I'm traditionally not a zoner player, so like learning how the philosophy of a zoner was just difficult for me. But I decided that, like, okay, for matchups that when I really want to win, let me just pick a character that's a little bit simpler in his game plan for me to execute. So I decided to pick up Sol, and I played Sol in the beta too before I knew anything about the game, and I was just hitting buttons and just mashing Tyrant Rave, and that's still what I do. That hasn't changed.
If it works,
it does work. At floor 9, I'm still hitting people with Wake Up Tyrant Rave. It's like, why not, right? I'm still hitting people with SDP. With SDP into SDP. It's like, you can't punish it. I mean, you can, but you can't. So I decided, let me pick Sol for those matchups where I feel like Axel is more difficult to play. I picked up Sol as a pocket to counterpick. And then the more I played Sol to try and like get him up to snuff with my Axel, I realized that I got way better with Sol way faster than I got with Axel.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, fuck it, I'm a Sol main, and now I have an Axel to counterpick.
It's kind of similar for me. Like, I was liking Kai. I was playing Kai. I know he's Kai, but he's Kai. He's fun.
Kai is cool.
And I kind of want to more do zoning type play styles, and I just fell on Ramlethal because she's fun, and I can just again hit you from over there.
Yeah, why hit you from up here when I can hit you from over there?
Yeah, exactly.
I want to play Ramlethal. I really do. She's like my favorite design in the game. And but her playstyle just doesn't mesh with me. Like that mid-range pressure and like having to keep track of my swords, it just doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
So I don't. I play Sol. And I play Sol, and I'm gonna make it your problem. Everyone else has to deal with the fact that I play Sol.
Yeah. But don't be jerks when you deal with it.
Right.
We're all adults here. Deal with it in your own way. Don't be jerks.
Like, really, it's going to be so much better for you as an individual to go in the lab and learn how to deal with Sol's options than it is for you to go on Twitter and type out a twit longer about how broken Sol Badguy is.
Yeah. And
how anybody who wins with him doesn't actually win, and, results don't matter if you play Sol Badguy. Yeah. You know what's funny? I haven't really seen that much Sol in tournaments.
Yeah,
if you've noticed, like, I've watched, like, a couple NLBCs, and, like, there are Sol players there, but, like, Sonic Fox is winning a lot of stuff, and Sonic Fox plays Leo.
Right. Although it is Sonic Fox.
It is Sonic Fox. But
Sonic Fox could win with Brawl Ganondorf.
Right. And, like, Fame is doing really well with Nago. The really... And maybe I'm just new to the community, so I don't know these people. I don't know the good players yet.
Yeah.
But really, from like watching content, the only really powerful Sol players that I've seen are Deb and Sajam.
Right, Sajam does play Sol.
Sajam does play Sol,
yeah.
And Sajam played Sol in Plus R. So like, I don't know. I feel like Sol isn't as much of a problem as people think. I think it's just a lot of people are losing to Sol and they haven't figured out how to stop it yet.
It's a new game. You're going to learn.
It's a new game. You're going to learn. Give it time. I'm sure Sol will get nerfed eventually. Like, there's going to be a balance patch. Like, this isn't the final state of the game, right? Like, we're going to get more content and balance changes and stuff. Wait it out. If you really want to win that bad and you think Sol is the only way to win consistently, then pick Sol.
Or hit us up. We'll play games with you.
Yeah, we'll play games with you. You can join our Discord.
We do have a Discord, yes.
We do have a Discord, and I'm going to put it, like, down there.
He plays Sol, I play Ram. I'm not good, so if you want to use me...
Neither am I. I'm a Sol Badguy player who hasn't hit Celestial yet. I'm definitely not good. But yeah, so hit us up on there. You can follow us on Twitter. Our handles are like there-ish. I don't know how to do this thing. There are our handles. Or you can follow the show at Charge Motion right there.
Yeah, there we go. Follow me on Twitter at 5axmas. Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
You can follow me on Twitter at xghoul. That's a 0 over there. Yeah. Not an O. That's a 0 because Ghoul was taken.
Charge Motion was not taken. You can follow us on there. And that's all I got for this week.
That's all I got today.
Good fight, good night.